Welcome to the Clark Athletic Center in Boston. This is the Little East Volleyball Conference Championship featuring UMass Boston and Plymouth State University. The 7th time in the last 8 years that UMass Boston is hosting this event, looking for also their 7th title in the last 8 seasons. Welcome into the Clark Athletic Center once again. I'm AJ Cannell. We're going to take a quick break here and come back with a complete preview of the matchup between these two teams.
UMass Boston was my first choice because when I came to the campus, I saw that there was a lot of diversity. There's a lot of people. Here there is a lot of international students, so it's really cool to meet people from different countries, different parts of the world. I'm Julia Murphy. I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
I'm Olivia Murphy. I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
We're sisters.
We're sisters.
I play volleyball and she plays basketball. Here they have a freshman success community. So each major has their own community that you can join as a freshman, and you take classes with them, you do study groups with them. So it was really helpful getting to know people in your major right away.
So in health exercise sciences, we have an internship at the end, so it's so much better to have like an advisor helping you out, like telling you which classes to choose.
The 2-seed Plymouth State against the 1-seed UMass Boston here in Boston, Massachusetts. Once again, I'm AJ Cannell. This is the Little East Conference Championship match. And let's look at the player to watch heading into this one. It's for UMass Boston, Eileen Shee. She can really do it all for this team. You saw last match in their semifinal win, both doing it as a power player at the net hitting and also as a passer digging. But with her double-doubles recently, her high kills per set mark, she's an absolutely essential offensive weapon for this UMass Boston team. Now let's take a look also at the series history between these two teams. This is their 3rd time that they have met in the conference championship match in the Little East. And there was a game, it's not on there on the graphic, but back in 2007, Plymouth State did win in the Little East quarterfinals between these two teams. But overall, of course, UMass Boston has dominated this conference and won each of the times that they've met in the championship. Let's take a look now at what Terry Condon has to say, the UMass Boston head coach, about this matchup between Plymouth State and UMass Boston. Come back after that for more of our pregame thoughts.
You were right, they were a little tense. Not really sure why, but try to get them just to relax, just play our game, just be ready for them to get the ball back, because that's what they were doing, and then just eliminate our errors. It was good. I think it's, of the two teams between Plymouth and Western, Plymouth would be more the one I would want to play, because they are very similar to Eastern. I think better than Eastern. They have some better players. Eastern was pretty, number 2's their big gun, and then they have some other players, but Plymouth has some 2 or 3 good players that could, challenge us. But they're just like East. They're scrappy. They get the ball back, and we got to be ready for that. We can't get frustrated. Play a little smarter. We can't just go up and pound the ball and think it's going to go down. We have to pass. It's our first thing, is pass the ball so we can run our offense and get one-on-one situations. And then our hitters have to be smart. They have to know where the shorter blockers are. They have to know where the holes are. We have to be a smarter team. I think I would like to see all our hitters step up. I'd like to see us all have even distribution of setting and kills. When you do that, it keeps other teams more off balance. When you're relying on one person, they're going to start keying up on that one person, and it usually doesn't work. In Texas, we did that. We were able to evenly distribute our sets amongst all our hitters. So it was good. They never knew where it was coming from, and we really need to work on that tomorrow. Seniors have been pretty good. I think they're taking it one game at a time, where that's what we're stressing. Don't worry about winning or losing. Let's just worry about playing our game, taking it one game at a time. We start worrying about winning and losing, we're going to get in trouble. It's to play our game. Pass the ball, run our defense, run our offense, and just eliminate errors.
Back here now in the Clark Athletic Center in Boston, I'm AJ Cannell. UMass Boston Beacons against the Plymouth State Panthers. And let's take a look at the stats on the season for both of these very successful volleyball programs. Plymouth State coming in at 20-10 against UMass Boston at 27-4. And you go down the line, the Beacons have the statistical advantage in most categories. Pretty much all of them: hitting percentage, the assists per set, passing in the back row, and maybe the biggest advantage, if not the hitting percentage, in terms of the blocking and the blocks per set. So you look at where Plymouth State is able to perhaps gain an advantage, maybe just their scrappiness and their ability to keep points alive, the persistence, and start to put the pressure on UMass Boston as the match goes along would be the Panthers' strategy. The team leaders now for both of these programs. And for Plymouth State, it's Claire Sporer, who is also, just like Eileen Shee for UMass Boston, capable of doing it in the front row and the back row. Sporer led the team in kills and digs in Plymouth State's semifinal win against Western Connecticut, but so versatile up front, UMass Boston with Eileen Shee and Julia Murphy. Kind of uncanny how they're tied for exactly 327 kills on the season. And also Murphy, it's just jaw-dropping, the .405 hitting percentage for her, what she has done this year. Coaches for these teams, you heard from Terry Condon, the UMass Boston head coach. She is the co-head coach along with Mike Houlihan, who's in his 4th year. Coach Condon, year number 12 at the helm of the Beacons. 458 and 238 is the UCLA grad of 1997. Overall is her record. And for Plymouth State, Chris Kilmer is the head coach. They go with the conventional route of the solo head coach. Kilmer in his 6th season, 112 and 81. He was the Little East Coach of the Year back in 2011. Take a look now at the highlights from the win for UMass Boston over the number 4 seed, Eastern Connecticut State. And that was back on Thursday, the 3-1 hotly contested victory for UMass Boston.
Serve.
UMass Boston and Plymouth State from Boston. Now time for the starting lineups. And first, let's go to the starters for Plymouth State, if we have those going into the matchup today. Megan Bailey, she is their solo setter, where UMass Boston used multiple setters. Bailey, 947 assists on the year. Look out for Claire Sporer as an outside hitter. And that's Brianna Voitage with her team-leading 269 hitting percentage in the middle. And really there's some depth on both of these teams and a lot of different weapons. We'll now go to the UMass Boston starters.
Colin Cohen from Centerville, Massachusetts, senior outside hitter.
Hi, I'm Julia Murphy. I'm a senior middle hitter from Canton, Massachusetts.
Hi, I'm Christina Elliott. I'm a sophomore setter from Camas, Washington.
Hi, I'm Melanie Fida. I'm a freshman right side hitter from Chicago, Illinois.
Hi, I'm Eileen Shee. I'm a sophomore outside hitter from San Francisco, California.
I'm Elizabeth Glavin, senior libero from Edina, Minnesota.
Hi, I'm Sarah Doyle, a freshman middle blocker from Glendale, California.
Let's take a quick commercial break and come back with the keys to the match.
What separates UMass Boston from other schools is the fact that a large percentage of students commute. For me, it takes 2 hours each day to go to and from school, but every second has been worth it because the students that come here are serious about learning, they value their education, and understand where it'll take them in the future. This is what UMass Boston means to me.
AJ Cannell back here in Boston at the Clark Athletic Center. Both of these teams are getting ready for the Little East Conference Championship match. UMass Boston and Plymouth State coming up in just minutes. And let's take a look at the keys to the match for the home team, the Beacons. And you look at a championship game like this, I guess first and foremost it starts with just being yourself. I think the formula for the Beacons, what they've done all season long, has worked plenty well. Undefeated in conference play at 7-0, and a very qualified opponent in the Panthers at 6-1 themselves. Their lone loss coming against UMass Boston, but play your game, bigger crowd today, different type of environment. Of course, UMass Boston doesn't have the pressure of needing this win to make the NCAA tournament, you would think, so they certainly value this match heavily, but perhaps a bit of the pressure is on Plymouth State, knowing they need to win to get in, and there should be some major Plymouth State supporters here, so UMass Boston actually at home is looking to quiet the PSU crowd early on. Again, UMass Boston at 27-4, 7-0 in conference, and Plymouth State at 20-10, 6-1 in conference. Plymouth State, the only team to take UMass Boston in conference play to even a fifth set. Beacons won that 3-2 in a very thrilling match. And both of these programs also are coming off of entertaining matches in their semifinal competitions. Eastern Connecticut State lost 3-1 to UMass Boston, but that was very close, and especially in that second set, Eastern Connecticut State, a good response, rallied back, made things tough the entire time on UMass Boston. Plymouth State won in a sweep over Western Connecticut, but Western Connecticut scored 24, 20, and 22 points respectively, so each of those sets was very close as well. The Little East Conference Championship is coming up next from here in Boston after the starters are announced here at the venue, along with the national anthem. We'll take the break and then come back for the start of this match.
Go Beacons! Let's go Beacons! Let's go Beacons!
Come on, Jake.
As usual, she wins it. A chance in front. Her shot is in the net. Crystal elated. Yet another goal.
Please make a gift to the Beacon Athletic Fund today. We want you on our team.
We are just about ready to go here in Boston at the Clark Athletic Center. Once again, I'm AJ Cannell, and this is the Little East Conference Championship matchup, the 7th time in 8 seasons that UMass Boston is hosting this event. The Beacons looking for Little East Conference title number 7, and that would all have come in the last 8 seasons as well. The lone exception, and they missed out on the championship a couple of seasons ago. Plymouth State, they went to the NCAA tournament after winning the LEC championship in 2004, so their second berth is what they are in search of. See UMass Boston in their home black uniforms with the blue trim and the green unis for Plymouth State on your screen. A healthy contingent, like we were talking about, of Plymouth State fans, in addition to the home fans for the Beacons. This afternoon's officials: first referee Paul Santos, second referee Don Cohen, third referee Robert Wilson. Brenna Peruch, the libero, gets it underway as the server for Plymouth State, and they get themselves a free ball, but from the middle it was Wojtaj that was rejected. And UMass Boston gets out in front. Eileen Shee, the Beacons leader, serves it up. So leads the team in aces, among other things. Point goes to Plymouth State. So both teams get the side out to start the match. That is Cohen getting it inside the line. Colleen Cohen, the senior from Centerville, Massachusetts, the Wheaton College transfer in her second year with the program. That'll send the defensive specialist Kiyanko back to serve. Good passing for both teams early on. They run the slide play with some effectiveness. Good swing there from the back row by Shee, who lets it go, and a good decision. Beacons off to a 3-1 start. Going outside, tooled off the block and down. Danny Tabor on the scoreboard for Plymouth State, the senior from Seattle, who had 9 kills in their last match. Plymouth State coming off a 3-0 sweep of Western Connecticut. UMass Boston, their semifinal matchup, 3-1 over Eastern Connecticut State. Brief conversation with one of the line judges and the lead official. It's a good serve and an ace. Alicia Flanagan put it where Eileen Shee couldn't handle it. 42nd ace of the season for Flanagan. This time, though, an error. 55th service error of the year for the sophomore from Milton, New Hampshire. Pepper Baker, the setter, is back to serve for UMass Boston. She's a good server, has 38 aces on the season. That serve was tough to handle, and it gets a free ball for the Beacons, but they have a blunder on the pass. Ends up working out for Murphy. Offense by accident there after Murphy flubbed the pass. She still had it in her sweet spot. Murphy hitting over 400 this season. Claire Sporer had the hitting attempt for Plymouth State. The swing for Maslak for UMass Boston. Sporer again. The libero is there. Glavin. The lefty swing by Fida goes too far. Two teams are very evenly matched. As we mentioned, UMass Boston has the statistical advantage as Murphy slams it down on the quick in most of the stat categories, but got to remember that Plymouth State took it to 5 games in the regular season when these two teams met up. Clear-cut second best team in the conference in the regular season behind UMass Boston, certainly capable of pulling off the upset as FIDA collects the ace. Sporer slams it down. Claire Sporer, the junior from Medford, Oregon, with 271 kills, team leading in that category along with 2.58 kills per set. Well, that was electric on the quick for Murphy. Caller UMass Boston's Ted Williams. She's expanding on her 400-plus hitting percentage. Miscommunication after the bad pass, and that turns into an ace for Elizabeth Glavin, the senior from Edina, Minnesota. Glavin tries to lay out for it along with FIDA in the back row. Point Plymouth State. Again, glad to have you alongside here for the Little East Championship match. AJ Cannell at the Clark Athletic Center. It's a float serve that Glavin has issues with, and it's put down for the kill in the middle by Mickey Tafe. She's a senior from Sandown, New Hampshire. Her best year may have been her freshman year statistically for this team, but she's been a 4-year contributor. She coming across the middle, close call. Plymouth State fans do not like the decision by the line judge. So very tough to see, and occasionally the way the ball kind of flattens out upon hitting the ground, it looks like it's out and beyond the line, but really kind of glances off at the end of the line. It's perhaps what the line judge might say in that situation. 10-7 UMass Boston. Weiland took the try from the backside. Outside swing for Cohen. But first, a double hit call. Brenna Perucci's turn to serve. The libero for Plymouth State. That's out up top on the tip attempt by Cohen. Early advantage for UMass Boston, but Plymouth State, they've hung around and they're down 1. She into the net. We are tied at 10. UMass Boston is 2-0 in conference championship matches against Plymouth State, winning in 2009 and 2011. 2011 match was at Plymouth. The only time in the last 8 seasons that UMass Boston hasn't hosted the championship. They did win that year against Plymouth State. She gets the ace. Danny Tabor couldn't handle it, and you look at the biggest advantage in the match, I think it's the Beacons' service attempts really giving the serve receive of Plymouth State some issues, and there it is again. Gets them the offensive chance. The tip, the good reach by Cohen. Free ball coming back. In the middle, the combination play, FIDA couldn't put it down. Good placement by Sporer. Cohen blocked, kept alive. Cohen taps it over. Diving play by Perucci in the back row. Tabor got denied. Miscommunication, mistiming in the middle. And that ends the longest point of the match so far. Tough way for it to go down for Plymouth State. She's had the good serves going. This time a playable pass for Plymouth State, but it's stuffed in the middle by Murphy. Make that Doyle in the middle in her rotation, number 16 for UMass Boston, the freshman from California. First team All-League as a senior in high school. She nearly got the ace, but a diving play in the back row by Sporer, or on the serve receive at least. It's then blocked by the Panthers, and they finally get their serve back. Good service run for Eileen Shee. Not the first time the Panthers have found themselves in a hole this afternoon already. They've clawed back a couple different times. Slide play, the tip by Doyle, it's down. How about the combination in the middle? Murphy hitting 405 coming in. Doyle hitting 308. This is Doyle's serve. And an ace. That is the fourth UMass Boston ace of their 16 points, and a timeout taken by Plymouth State. We'll go to a commercial break here and come back with UMass Boston up by 5.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Beacons looking for Little East Conference Championship number 7. And number 7 in the last 8 seasons. The Panthers want their second conference title and their first since 2004. Good after the timeout. Sarah Doyle bouncing the ball off of her head and her forehead playing around. I think the best teams in this sport where it's so important to play as a team, to be consistent and solid and loose with your passing in terms of your ability to deaden the ball. I think that the more uptight teams sometimes have trouble. You love the body language with a more laid-back team. Doyle follows it up by slamming it way beyond the service back line on the Plymouth State side after the timeout. One of the top times to not miss a serve. You never want to miss coming off of a long run or after a timeout taken by the other team. And an ace on the Plymouth State side for Alicia Flanagan. That's the second ace for Plymouth State, so a combined 6 aces already. Good pass that time by Shee. On the slide, it was Murphy. Free ball coming over. There's Fida in the middle. Back row for Shee. That is out. The response again for the Panthers. They're down just 2. Still on Flanagan's serve. Bit of a serving specialist for them. Over 40 aces on the season. Good decision that time in the back row by Shee, where she is sneaky effective. The headlines for her front row play. One of the younger players on this UMass Boston team, Shee, that is more veteran loaded this year than normal. They've had only 1 senior each of the last 2 seasons on the roster. This year with 4 seniors have taken that step forward in combination with younger players like Shee. Sporer got blocked, and it was carried, I believe, on the Plymouth State side. Murphy and Fida there for the Beacons. Pepper Baker to serve. Sporer slams it down the line. Found the mark. The outside hitter is Claire Sporer. And Eileen Shee for UMass Boston, Sporer for Plymouth State. Both so electric. The overpass is deposited by Tafe. Plymouth State continues just to hang around in the first set. Outside attempt for Maslak. Beacon so dominant this regular season, 27-4, undefeated in conference. Another ace, the second time that's happened where there's been a bad initial pass and the second player hasn't been able to come in, not thinking it was her ball. On the serve receive for the Panthers. That's focus number one, you have to think, in between the sets to shore that up. The fifth ace for UMass Boston. They scramble really well in the back row. Kiyanko and company. Sporer got blocked again. And doing a good job of neutralizing her. Murphy in the middle along with Maslak on the right side that time. And the Beacons are pulling away. Michaela Kiyanko, her next serve. Slide for Tafe, didn't go down. Tried to shoot play from an awkward angle, it didn't work out. Plymouth State has won 8 straight matches entering this one. They're a hot team. It goes off the net and through the block and down. UMass Boston, like we said, they have not lost much at all this year. They've won 4 straight and 13 of 14. Back row swing by Michaela Kiyanko. Eileen, she wants to put it away. Great dig by Peruch against a high velocity shot. She again towards the middle. That time, nothing they can do about it. She is just plain explosive from the outside hitting spot. 2 points away from the first set. Good low short serve by Glavin. That one is too far to the wide near side. And 7 set points for the Beacons. Another short serve goes off the net and hits the diving Sporer up high. And the serving success continues for UMass Boston to end the first set. Aces aplenty for the Beacons, and they win the first set 25-17 over Plymouth State. We'll take a break. You'll see some highlights from the opening set, and the second set comes your way in just minutes here from UMass Boston.
The University of Massachusetts Boston, with its scenic oceanfront campus, easily accessible to downtown Boston, is recognized as a model of excellence for urban public universities. 16 NCAA Division III sports are part of the more than 100 student organizations that create an engaging campus life in America's biggest and best college town. UMass Boston, Boston's urban public research university for the 21st century.
AJ Cannell here in Boston. We'll now look back at some of the highlights from the first set. Going outside, tooled off the very evenly matched. As we mentioned, UMass Boston has the statistical advantage as Murphy slams it. It's a float serve that Glavin has issues with, and it's put down for the... She's had the good serves going. This time a playable pass for Plymouth State, but it's stuffed in the middle. Doyle hitting .308. This is Doyle's serve. And an ace. Pepper Baker to serve. Sporer slams it down the line. Well in the back row. Kiyanko and company. Sporer got blocked again. Another short serve goes off the net and hits the diving Sporer up high, and the serving Back here live at the Clark Athletic Center, UMass Boston leads 1-0 over Plymouth State. The stats after set number 1, UMass Boston 10-7 the lead in kills. In aces, a 5-2 advantage for UMass Boston, yet it almost felt like an even bigger advantage because their serves garnered some free balls and other missed opportunities for Plymouth State, where UMass Boston expanded the lead on their serves. 13-8 digging advantage for the Beacons and a 3-2 blocking lead for UMass Boston. They came in with the stat advantage and the record advantage on the season. Plymouth State, again, came in winning 8 matches in a row, so feeling it themselves, but the momentum really only lasts as long as the first set of your next match if you end up losing it. The 8 in a row is kind of out the window now after that first set. 25-17 in set number 1. It's the Beacons to serve in the second set to start things out. And just like that, the first play of the second set is an ace by Christina Elliott. One of their setters, their secondary setter this season behind Baker, the sophomore from Washington State. Ace number 6 of the match. Another tough serve. And that is going to end the point on the Plymouth State side on a carry. Just got to give credit, though, to UMass Boston because these serves have been really difficult. It's not just Plymouth State kind of messing it up. It's pushing the issue on the Beacon side. Another difficult serve. Backside for Shi. Tip on the left side for Cohen. Right now, Shi on the right side stationed on this point. Swing for Weiland. Panthers on the board. Kayla Weiland, the senior from Melrose, Massachusetts. She's having the best year of her career. Career high in kills. And has actually just tied her career high, or set a new career high in blocks. He did 1 block this match to set a new single season career high in blocks, and she's now actually done that after a block in the first set. She pokes it in the right spot. Fourth kill for Eileen Shi. And it continues with the serving, setting things up for UMass Boston. Short serve, that's an ace. She very effective from back there, the team leader in aces, but they've all had it going from behind the service line. Stuffed but kept alive. Blocked again but kept alive, and eventually on the third try, Kayla Weiland delivers. 189 kills on the season coming in. 40 blocks and a 189 hitting percentage. Rachel Morrissey, the defensive specialist, senior from Salem, New Hampshire, is serving it up for Plymouth State. Dump attempt. They're ready for it. To the far side. That's effective for Danny Tabor. Set led her pretty darn close to the net, but she kept her body in control and got it done. Morrissey on her serve again. Way too far. Doyle out of control, unbalanced there. And a 1-point lead now as Murphy checks back in. Rather, excuse me, it was tipped. There was some confusion. I think they, on the scoreboard, gave that point to Plymouth State. Unless I have that wrong. Plymouth State gets the point there. They just put a point for the Beacons. So it all evens out in the end on the scoreboard here in the arena. Pancake attempt falls just short as Murphy tips it in. 7-4, UMass Boston, the Clark Athletic Center. Pepper Baker, the senior from Tallahassee, Florida. Team leading 540 assists, a part of a 6-2 lineup that they frequently use. Multiple setters. 4.9 assists per set for Baker. Her side spinning serve is handled this time. Tipped by Sporer. Good placement by Maslak. Got to give credit, too. We've been talking about the tough times for the Plymouth State serve receive. Got to give credit to the UMass Boston serve receive, how consistent they have been in setting the offense up. Blocked in the middle. That's going to go long. Timeout, Plymouth State. And head coach Chris Kilmer is having a conversation with his assistant staff and trying to figure out how to diagnose this problem after UMass Boston pulled away late in the first set and pulling away early in the second set. We'll take a break and come back shortly here from UMass Boston.
Moving from Turkey, it was a rough journey for me because when you don't really speak the language that well and when you don't really fit in the crowd, it's very easy to disappear. But I decided not to give up, and UMass helped me.
Cheer for the stumbles. That he should have had that. And the tears that linger. For in those moments, greatness lies. There, you will find the provoked, the determined, the unified. It's in those moments that champions are born.
The only time UMass Boston is lost in this building this year came on October the 1st against Middlebury in 5 sets, the match after they had beaten Plymouth State in 5 sets. Now Plymouth State and UMass Boston here in the Little East Conference Championship. UMass Boston boasting that 10-1 home record, looking for that 11th home win. Claire Sporer, a much-needed point on the outside for Plymouth State. Sporer is typically their leader. That's her second kill of the afternoon. She's been stuffed a couple of times at the net, and up and down for her. Very important player for Plymouth State. Back to Sporer. Has to hit it off of the ground. Dump attempts. Both teams have been there for those. She with an impressive back row play. In the middle, Tafe. Now Sporer. It's a joust. Gives Plymouth State a possession. Tip is out, just out on the far sideline. The call from the line judge on Sporer's attempt. Lengthy point taken in by the Beacons. Another effective serve. She! No doubt with many of her attempts. That serve misses the mark. This is the third time in the last 4 years that UMass Boston in the regular season had a perfect conference record, the 5th time in their program's history. Baker, a good set for She, looking like another kill, and yes, ma'am, for Eileen She. And the ace for Michaela Kiyanko. She now, by the way, with 6 kills. So, point goes to Plymouth State here. And it's knocked out. Panthers are trying to respond and are back within 5. Baker's going to She. She tools off the block, and that won't be saved. She's on fire with kill number 7. Last year, Plymouth State went 22-7, tied for 3rd in the conference. Got bounced, though, in the quarters in 5 sets, upset by 6th seed Rhode Island College. This year, about the same performance in the regular season in terms of overall record, but a much better conference performance. They were 4-3 in conference last year, 6-1 this year. Their lone loss in 5 sets against UMass Boston, as Weiland gets blocked by Doyle along with Cohen. Been a better conference tournament performance so far for Plymouth State, but it's been all UMass Boston here this afternoon. That tough short serve. It's pounded down by Tabor. The diving play by Glavin in the back row couldn't quite keep the point alive. Co-head coaches Terry Condon and Mike Houlihan have to love what they have seen. Nice and relaxed and easy so far for UMass Boston, but She is rejected. First time they've really challenged her. Tabor in on that one. That one slammed through. She gets an ace. Eileen She is everywhere. Timeout taken by Chris Kilmer, and Plymouth State once again, 17-10. UMass Boston over Plymouth State during the timeout. We will take a break here from UMass Boston.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
A.J. Cannell here in Boston at the Clark Athletic Center. UMass Boston against Plymouth State. Panthers looking to figure out a way to get back into this match. And the dominance for UMass Boston, even down to the individual set numbers. Their sets won versus sets lost, 87-27 overall. In conference play, 21-3. Just dropped 3 sets against conference foes. And 2 of those were against Plymouth State. In that one match, the tip play will work out. And Healthy contingent of Panther fans here on hand, trying to urge their team on in the Little East Championship. Rachel Morrissey is the server. Good pass by Glavin. Good job by Morrissey, just to keep the point alive. And out barely. Thrilling job by both teams of lunging to keep the point alive. The creativity around the net. But a few of those long points, UMass Boston has prevailed. That serve floats just out on the other side of the line. But Plymouth State running out of room in set 2. Plymouth State also averages more than 2 aces per set. They need a long service run of their own from one of their servers. That set goes too far, trickles over the net, doesn't touch anybody, and hits out. Hyatt is the server. She dives to make a play on the Plymouth side. On the quick play, Julia Murphy. Murphy, as we've mentioned, hitting over 400 in the season. 5 kills, 1 error in the match for Murphy. Up around 400 for her percentage again today. Pepper Baker to serve. Claire Sporer out along the line. There's too many hitting errors for Plymouth State. Going back to Sporer. Glavin was right there. Murphy using her reach on the overpass, the attempt for Maslak. Now Sporer is blocked again. Fida and Murphy standing tall. The blocks are fairly even, but some key plays where they've gotten some blocks against the top option for Plymouth, Claire Sporer. This time UMass Boston on Sporer's attempt. So the Beacon's going into the net. But 21-14, Beacons over the Panthers. Up close to the net, Baker saved it temporarily. Brianna Voitage, the server, the senior from Salem. Salem, New Hampshire. Maslak. The tip will work for Tafe. Little traction gained right now by Plymouth State, and Terry Condon responds by calling timeout. 21-16. The regular season, it was these two teams that really dominated. UMass Boston at 7-1, Plymouth State at 6-1 in the conference. So combined 7-0 rather for UMass Boston, Plymouth State 6-1. So teams combined 13-1. You look at the path to get here for UMass Boston. They went 3-1 at a tournament down in Virginia to start the season. And from their home opener on September the 8th against Emerson until a loss on September the 30th, they went on a 9-match winning streak, capped by their victory on the 27th, 3-2 over Plymouth State. So you could see right there in September with that 9-match winning streak that this was going to be a special season for UMass Boston. Couple of long streaks. They also, following their lone home loss of the year to Middlebury, had a 10-match winning streak. Later on in the season, they come in winning 4 straight, 13 of 14. Plymouth State enters winning their last 8, but in danger. That actually hits She. And Plymouth State has gone on a 3-0 run. I think maybe even a 4-0 run to get back within 4. Slide play. Murphy the power. Steps up when her team needs it. The senior from Canton, Massachusetts. Murphy, the 3-time Little East Offensive Player of the Year, wants number 4 this year. That is pretty impressive to potentially sweep that award over the course of your career, as UMass Boston is 2 points away from being 1 set away. That's a success on Michaela Kiyanko's serves. Kiyanko, the good dig. The overpass. Point's been lingering around the net. She blocked, but out, and 7 set points. Looking for an identical score, perhaps, in set 1. It was 25-17 in the first set. 24-17 now as Kiyanko serves it short. A good effective serve. A well-placed ball from the outside. Murphy looking to end it, and she does. 25-17 in back-to-back sets. She and Murphy is always leading the way for UMass Boston as they take a 2-0 set lead over Plymouth State. The Beacons are 1 set away from their 7th Little East Championship. The third set starts in just minutes here from UMass Boston.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny, nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
Welcome back to the Clark Athletic Center in Boston, Massachusetts. Identical scores, 25-17 in each of the first 2 sets. UMass Boston over Plymouth State. This is not over, but UMass Boston has had its way with the Panthers through 2 sets, and we will see now the highlights from earlier action. After a block in the first set, she pokes it in the right spot. To the far side, that's effective for Danny Tabor. Tipped by Sporer. Good placement. Thank you, sir. She! No in on that one. That one slammed through. That's the attempt for Maslak. Now Sporer is blocked again. 24-17 now as Kiyanko serves it short. A good effective serve. A well-placed ball from the outside. Murphy looking to end it, and she does. Back here at the Clark Athletic Center, A.J. Cannell, UMass Boston against Plymouth State. And the Beacons have hit 220 to just an .083 hitting percentage for Plymouth State. 22-16 in terms of kills, 5-3 in blocks. Digs are even through first couple of sets. Yeah, and that's appropriate because the back row play has been pretty good for both teams in the middle of points in sort of scrambling situations just throughout the course of points. As we've detailed, there have been some issues in particular for Plymouth State on serve receive, though that got better actually in the second set. UMass Boston just became too powerful as a hitting unit behind 7 kills for Murphy, who's now hitting .500 on the match, and 8 kills for Eileen She, who does have 4 errors and is hitting .250. Top option, though, for Plymouth State, Claire Sporer, who leads them in kills and kills per set. She has 3 kills, but she's hitting negative 095 with 5 errors. The amount of time she's been blocked. Danny Tabor leads Plymouth State with 5 kills so far. And UMass Boston on the scoreboard first again. She set to serve. Eileen She. They let that go out. Too far for Danny Tabor. And I'm sure Chris Kilmer doesn't want to let this go too far immediately for Plymouth State. Their backs against the wall. That'll help the cause for the Panthers as she misses the serve. Again, the stakes here, UMass Boston, very important for them to win the conference tournament as always, but you figure they'll be in the NCAA tournament regardless, though, if they can win and they get the right breaks. Otherwise, they could even host at the start of the NCAA tournament, so they want to win for that reason. Tip by Tabor. And the defensive mishap, and we're tied at 2. But UMass Boston, basically, this is almost kind of a bonus in an odd way, though still very important to them. Plymouth State, they need to win to extend their season. They will not be playing in the NCAA tournament without an automatic bid and the victory over UMass Boston. Colleen Cohen. Cohen, the senior from Massachusetts, had the 3rd best mark on the Wheaton College volleyball team a couple years ago in kills. Made an immediate impact coming to this program last year, her 2nd year with the team. It's a nice job on the outside by Tabor. Not the first time we've seen her with kind of a shaky set figure out a way to slam it through, or in some cases tip it through for a kill. Cohen, that's too far. And Plymouth State takes the lead. Been trailing most of the match. Things got a little dicey for Plymouth State as they entered the stretch run of the season. The second half of the season at least had a 3-5 stretch as Cohen tips it. Now Spohr, it's dug out by She. They give She the swing from the back row. She places it well. But then after Plymouth State went on that 3-5 stretch, an 8-game sequence, including losses 3 out of 4 times at a tournament in Illinois, they won the final 8 games of the regular season plus 1 game in the postseason going into this match. That's stuffed. So Baker back to serve. She made the all-conference first team last year as the primary setter. Her numbers back down a little bit this year with the team more frequently using the 6-2 lineup, but still very consistent player. The dump from Plymouth State's side is anticipated, but eventually the Panthers prevail. Both teams have been very effective at seemingly knowing when that dump play, the setter kill attempt play is coming. Tough serve. Leads to an ace for Hannah Hyatt. Senior from Andover, Connecticut. Is not always frequently used, but getting a chance and an ace again. Excuse me, number 9, that's Voitage, not number 3. That's doing the serving at the moment. I think Hyatt's gotten a chance to be in there, though, at times in this match. Missed serve that time. Yeah, Hyatt is in the back row right now for Plymouth State. And Michaela Kiyanko is serving for UMass Boston with a 7-6 deficit. Kiyanko. Spohr has to run into it. She on the mark again. Brenna Peruch couldn't quite get under it, and she's just been torturing the Plymouth State back row, making it too tough for them. Free ball coming. Well, actually, it ends up being a tougher play than you'd think. She goes short as well. Bumped over by Morrissey. The big quick for Murphy. Got up high, put it down. Got it pretty much inside that front line, the attacking line. Another serve that gets an offensive chance. She goes over the block, and it's on the line. That block didn't get up for her, and if the block isn't going to be there for she, it's just target practice. It's like warm-ups. Open season on the defense. She's now reached double-digit kills. Or has she? I think I'm going to guess that there was some type of reconsideration. Not sure if it was a rotation thing or what, but they changed their mind and gave the serve to Plymouth State. The point one for Plymouth State. Good dig that time by Peruch in the back row. Diving play by Kiyanko for UMass Boston. The back row play looking good on this point. We are tied at 8 as Murphy, the timing wasn't right. That was blocked by She up there on the attempt by Weiland. Sporer blocked again. And on the quick play, Tafe got blocked. They are building a wall in the front row. That is not a political stump that I just made. It's volleyball talk there. And not locker room talk either, as she goes over the net and down. That's the kill off the deflection for Plymouth State. This has been the most closely contested set. What you figured would happen, because Plymouth State is a really talented and resilient team that lost just one conference match in the regular season. They were not going to go down easy. She stuffed that time, but it doesn't even matter because there was the double hit on the set. That's out by Grace Sporer. Sisters of Claire, well, juniors from Medford, Oregon, on this Plymouth State team. Free ball coming. What's Elliott going to do with it? Going outside to Cohen. We've used a lot of Christina Elliott setting, and she has been effective setting the table. Sophomore from Washington. She's now the server. Bit of a specialty for her. She's really effective from back there behind the line. This time it's kept in control. Tabor with a good swing. Kiyanko, just as nice a defensive play. Tabor again. Been feeling a little bit for Plymouth State. Good job up high by Cohen, reaching for that one while it was still on her side. That's one where the hitter is doing the setter a favor to collect that kill and get the assist. Block, but in. On the quick in the middle. Some signs of life, but still very precarious position, down 2 sets and 2 points for Plymouth State. A good cross-court set. Cohen got blocked now. It is she goes too far. The libero Brenna Peruch serves on an important point. Backside for she. It's in the net. They occasionally mix up her usage and move her to the right side. Didn't work out for them there. Timeout taken by Coach Condon, signaling for it on the UMass Boston sideline. So a 13-all tie in set number 3 here from UMass Boston.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
Welcome back to the Little East Championship game in volleyball. AJ Cannell here at the Clark Athletic Center in Boston. UMass Boston looking once again for title number 7, and it would also be 7 titles in the last 8 years of this program under Coach Condon and more recently under Coach Houlihan, the co-head coach for the Beacons, and also Chris Kilmer had a successful run, 6-year head coach of Plymouth State. They're looking for their first title since 2004, the 2nd overall. And they're starting to rally a few straight points, and Plymouth State's taking the lead on that hitting error. It's been on the service run of Brenna Peruch. Leads the team with over 430 digs on the season, making the mark from the service line right now. That's a good serve. She handles it nicely. In the middle, Cohen. Over the block and down for Kayla Weiland. That right side hitter who's had a bit of the breakout year for Plymouth State. The run continues through the timeout for Plymouth State. She looking to end the run. She gets really vertical. That was a laser beam from Eileen Shee to stop the bleeding. Really establishing herself as you would expect in the conference championship game. That was close, but out. That's a big point, though, for Plymouth State. Very potent server, Eileen Shee, get out of her serve on a first attempt side out. Slide play, put down by Doyle. And it's the freshman from Glendale, California going back to serve. And now she's going to check out. They're going to put in Michelle St. Louis to do the serving right now. Maybe the first time we've seen the coaching staff for the Beacons veer from the rotation. Good serve by St. Louis. So it works out, gets them a free ball. On the quick, Murphy again. That's nearly automatic when it's Murphy in her sweet spot. She gets it to the floor most of the time. Hitting over 400 in the season to lead the Little East. One of the top hitters in the country, St. Louis. They do get a swing out of it by Tabor. Cohen, nearly saved by Peruch. But this little service run from Michelle St. Louis. Good substitution by the head coaches for UMass Boston, the co-head coaching combination. That's basically a free ball in essence but Cohen puts it towards the net. Thought we could be nearing a timeout for Chris Kilmer if UMass Boston had just taken that point and gone up by 2, but instead it's back to a tie, third set. At this point in the first 2 sets, the Beacons had already pulled away. Won each of the first 2 sets 25-17. Now we're knotted at 17 in the third set. Cohen's been hot. Kill number 8 for Colleen Cohen. One of 3 players with at least 8 kills, along with Murphy and She. The versatility on offense, they can go a number of places offensively. Again, the dump doesn't work. The quick for Murphy does, and now it's a 2-point lead. Danger zone for Plymouth State. For now, Coach Kilmer lets them try and play through it. This is a must-have point as Baker serves. The tip play by Spohr. Fida's swing doesn't go down. Good in the back row, but not a real offensive chance for Plymouth State. Murphy again! Feed Murphy in the middle is an easy game plan for UMass Boston. 20-17 and closing in perhaps on the Little East title here in Boston.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris, the subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown, and it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
Okay, back here after the timeout. Do or die for Plymouth State. Their only regular season loss in this conference came against this team, UMass Boston, who was perfect in the regular season in conference. 27-4 overall, closing in perhaps on the Little East Championship up by 3. Miscommunication on the serve receive, and Baker gets credit for the ace. This has now gotten out of control really quickly for Plymouth State. Spohr. Back row, She. Gonna be a free ball at best. Diving play by Peruch, the libero. Spohr with the kill. Plymouth State still feels they're alive, and they are. Down 3, but in need of a run. Been a resilient team all season. Do they have one more run in them this set? The overpass, it's put down by Tafe, and they're back within 2. Murphy again! Julia Murphy will not be denied. Murphy has now tied She with 12 kills, but Murphy has just 1 error and is hitting well above 500. It's out for Spohr, and the Beacons are 2 points away. Timeout, Plymouth State. Who would even get the most outstanding player? I mean, it's interesting because UMass Boston has co-head coaches. Why not co-most outstanding players? Maybe She gets the nod based on what she did in the previous round with a double-double of 18 kills and 17 digs. But then you look at Murphy's numbers, hitting .550 today with 12 kills. Tough to decide for this UMass Boston team if they do close this out. Plymouth State takes their final time out of the set. Backs against the wall. Can the Beacons close it out? Kiyanko's serve has been really effective today. Quick, though, goes down for Tafe. Back within 3 and not done yet. There are a lot of Plymouth State fans here. They have had limited chances to erupt. They kind of did there to try and really inspire the team, give them some energy, some assurance this late in the match, down like they are. She forced to just tip it. That will go as a kill for the right side hitter, Kayla Weiland. Look at this, the Panthers within 2. Timeout, UMass Boston. It's a game of chess. Right now, these two coaches using their timeouts liberally to try and stem the bleeding from both angles. 23-21 in set 3. UMass Boston up 2-0 in sets here from the Clark Athletic Center in Boston. We'll take a break and come back in a moment.
Let's go Beacons! Let's go Beacons! Let's go Beacons!
Come on, Jake. And as usual, she wins it. A chance in front. Her shot is in the net. Crystal Layden. Yet another goal.
Please make a gift to
We return to the Clark Athletic Center. 2 points away, the Beacons, but a 2-0 run for Plymouth State. They need to extend it. It's in on the line. Championship points for UMass Boston. The libero Glavin is the server. One of the top liberos out there. Looking to end things once and for all. Tip play sends diving. Weiland. Here's a chance for It's blocked. Murphy. That's Doyle putting it down. Sarah Doyle. UMass Boston wins the Little East Conference Championship for the 7th time. Sarah Doyle, after Julia Murphy had been so effective from the middle all afternoon, it was the freshman Doyle stepping up and putting it away to end things. 3-0 for UMass Boston over Plymouth State as the Beacons capture the Little East Conference Volleyball Championship once again. Really impressive. This dynasty under Terry Condon as well as Mike Houlihan. And we'll take a break here and come back with the post-game festivities from Boston.
My name's Albie Daly. I'm from Able Park, New York. I'm a forward on the UMass Boston men's hockey team, and my current major is exercise and health sciences. Being a member of the men's hockey team is a tremendous honor, just because being able to play collegiate sport while pursuing my dreams of becoming a physical therapist and studying what I'd like to in school means a lot. My favorite memory as a member of the men's hockey team would probably be a big goal that I scored last year, the NCAA quarterfinals. ECAC's quarterfinals against University of New England.
What a turn in momentum!
Just because it was a big boost for both myself and our team moving forward.
Perfect shot right there over the shoulder of the goaltender Drost.
Frozen Fenway was just our outdoor game at Fenway Park, and it was a tremendous experience, I think, both for me and the guys on the team and, you know, the program as a whole. But we got to see the Red Sox locker room, which was an awesome experience, and just being at Fenway Park when you go to school in Boston is second to none, really, and that's what you look for, you know, when you're trying to experience collegiate athletics, and it's a really cool thing to be a part of. Being a student athlete at UMass Boston is a tremendous honor, just because it gives you the chance to really focus on your studies in a great academic environment while, you know, pursuing what you want athletically. So it's a pretty powerful thing.
Championship presentation here in Boston as the individual players for UMass Boston collect their championship medals. Plymouth State showing some fantastic sportsmanship. Certainly difficult for them because the reality is that they're not going to go to the NCAA tournament, you wouldn't think, without having won today, but got a big round of applause from their fans as they were given a shout out by the public address for what they've done this season and being the Little East runners-up. But the champion again is UMass Boston for the 7th time all-time and the 7th time in the last 8 years as well, behind Eileen Shee and Julia Murphy. It was a team effort as well. There were many other top contributors like Colleen Cohen, Sarah Doyle, who had the 4th most kills and put the match away. Elliott and Baker, the setters, the back row being really quietly consistent behind Glavin and Kiyako and company. The serving was really good as well from pretty much everybody on UMass Boston. So really it's the combination of the standouts, Shee and Murphy, and a well-rounded team effort. That leads to a 3-0 sweep, 25-17, 25-17, 25-21 over Plymouth State University. Panthers are going to fall to 20-11 on their season, 8-3 on the road. UMass Boston improved to 28-4 and 11-1 at home. And yet to lose to, they will not lose to a conference team this year at home. Most outstanding player we just heard is Eileen Shee, collecting her recognition and presenting the trophy for the conference championship is going to be Associate Commissioner Adam Sopris. I think the captains will go up, the seniors will go up and get the trophy. But she, with her effort today, with 13 kills and 9 digs, 1 dig shy of a double-double, along with 4 aces and electric serving overall, to combine with her effort in the semifinals, 18 kills and 17 digs. She hit .483 last match. It's Eileen Shee. Really, either her or Murphy would have deserved it after what Murphy has done with her hitting percentage and her efficiency. So it's Shee, though, that wins the most outstanding player in the Little East Championship. We're going to talk with Eileen and also head coach Terry Condon down on the court here in Boston following the commercial break.
I'm Alexa Capion. I'm from Messina, New York. I'm a junior on the women's ice hockey team, and I'm an exercise health science major. But when I got here, I met Coach Harris, and I saw the facility, and I met a couple of the girls on the team, and I pretty much got a feel of the program, and I knew right away that this is where I wanted to go to school. We have all league games for the rest of the year, so that's going to be a huge test for us. We need those points to hopefully come out with a good standing for playoffs. A couple of highlights from the last couple of years that I've been playing was probably last year when we won our first Codfish Bowl. We made history that year. I was really excited to be part of that. I don't have very many goals, but when I do score, it's definitely a big deal.
That's a goal.
For the past 3 years, we've had Emily. She is a member of the Team Impact program, and that's for children with illnesses that want to be part of a collegiate program. She's great. She comes and watches all of our games. She has her own jersey. She has her own stick. We've got her all this equipment. She's It's really awesome to have. She gives us a lot of motivation, and she comes in the locker room and talks to us before games, and it's really cool to have her here and be part of our team. When I graduate, I definitely want to go to graduate school, most likely for either athletic training or physical therapy. Our trainers here have definitely given me an insight about what it takes to be an athletic trainer. They're always on top of everything. They always know how to help us and what to do and what not to do. They're always there for us when we need them, and that's given me a lot of help with what I could be doing after I graduate, so that's nice to have them. UMass Boston was my first choice because when I came to the campus, I saw that there was a lot of diversity. There's a lot of people. Here there's a lot of international students, so it's really cool to meet people from different countries, different parts of the world. I'm Julia Murphy. I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
I'm Olivia Murphy. I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
We're sisters. I play volleyball and she plays basketball. Here they have a freshman success community. So each major has their own community that you can join as a freshman, and you take classes with them, you do study groups with them. So it was really helpful getting to know people in your major right away.
So in health exercise sciences, we have an internship at the end, where it's so much better to have like an advisor helping you out, like telling you which classes to choose.
What separates UMass Boston from other schools is the fact that a large percentage of students commute. For me, it takes 2 hours each day to go to and from school, but every second has been worth it because the students that come here are serious about learning, they value their education, and understand where it'll take them in the future. This is what UMass Boston means to me.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and I know how powerful words can be. The term gay doesn't mean stupid, lame, or less than.
So I pledge to speak up if I hear the term gay used in a derogatory way or any other homophobic terms.
If you can play in Division III.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and my teammates unconditionally accepted me as part of their family. So now I pledge to do the same for others. If you can play in Division III.
Come on, Jake.
As usual, she wins it. A chance in front.
Back here at Boston, AJ Cannell joined by the Little East most outstanding player in the championship, Eileen Shee. Eileen, congratulations on your team's victory and your individual success. And so first of all, from the team perspective, what does it mean to be a part of a program that's now won this championship 7 times?
I mean, it's a really great feeling for all of us. And in the beginning of the season, it was so much pressure. But as the season went on and we got our mojo, I think we just all completely earned it.
Did you know from the start of this season that this would maybe be a special season for this group?
From the start, I was a little iffy. But after a couple of tournaments, and we just got to know each other, and we just got it rolling, and it just. Yeah.
I think a big part of your success and why you won this award is everybody sees the stuff in the front row and the power, but the ability to do that, but also have double-digit digs. You had the big double-double in the previous match. And what is it like? How challenging is it as a player to, in all facets of the game, be performing at an elite level?
I mean, it's tough on my body, of course, but I feel like before the season started, we've all trained preseason workouts, everything to prepare for this season. And I mean, when I'm in front row, I focus on hitting, and when I'm back row, I focus on passing, and I just change my focus to whatever I'm doing.
All right, well, Eileen, thanks so much for the time. Congrats again on the award and the victory.
Thank you so much.
That's Eileen Shee. We're going to now talk with Coach Condon, who's going to come over. You can go and get Coach. Thank you. And as we keep it here in Boston, Coach, congratulations on the championship, and what does it mean to win title number 7 in 8 years?
Relieved. I knew this was going to be a tough match. Plymouth is good. They're really scrappy and they don't give up. So I was just hoping we could stay focused through the entire match and take this one.
How important early on was the serving? It seemed like their serve receive kind of got rattled, and it set a tone early in the match.
Yeah, that did. It helped a lot. We were picking on number 8 a lot, their best player, trying to take her out of the match a little bit, and so we were serving at her a lot, and she got a little rattled on her serving, which I think hurt her a little bit on her hitting. She wasn't as effective as she usually was.
Yeah, a lot of blocks against her, Spore in the front row, and really there were some individual standouts with Murphy and She, but also a well-rounded effort. So, of all the things that your team did well today, what do you think stood out?
We stayed focused the entire time. We've been a tendency to play really well for 10 points or one game, and then the next game just collapse and then play well again, and they didn't do that. And that was good. I also like in the last 3 tournaments, we've been evenly distributing the sets. So a lot of people have been getting a lot of sets, which helps us in our attack.
Finally, your thoughts now as you prepare for the NCAA tournament and what you expect the road to be.
Hopefully a victory. I think we'll probably end up at Tufts. It looks like Tufts will be hosting, and just get ready. We got to get ready for our opponent one at a time.
Coach, congratulations once again. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
All right, that's Terry Condon, the head coach of the UMass Boston volleyball team. We'll have a quick break here from the Clark Athletic Center in Boston. We'll wrap things up back up top in a couple minutes.
Cheer for the stumbles. That he should have had that. And the tears that linger. For in those moments, greatness lies. There, you will find the provoked, the determined, the unified. It's in those moments that champions are born.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
As we wrap things up from here in Boston at the Clark Athletic Center, AJ Cannell here with you as UMass Boston defeats Plymouth State in the conference championship game 3-0. And let's take a look at the team leaders now for each of these squads. See Eileen She doing it all, both in terms of the aces and the hitting. Also, she was consistent as always in terms of the digs. And a bunch of server C plays for her as well to go along with 9 digs. Something we didn't talk about probably as much as she deserved to have it talked about. Elizabeth Glavin was very consistent in the back row for UMass Boston as well. As you heard Coach Condon be pretty candid about for Plymouth State, their usual kills leader, Claire Spore, was held in check, kind of rattled early on. It was Danny Tabor, the senior from Washington State, who had the lead in kills for the Panthers, but overall, the heavy advantage for UMass Boston. And how about Julia Murphy, who came in hitting over 400 on the season, and what she was able to do once again today with 12 kills, a .550 hitting percentage, and then the other middle hitter, Sarah Doyle, with 5 kills, no errors, in 8 attack attempts. She is the leader with a .625 hitting percentage for UMass Boston, and Doyle's just a freshman, so plenty years of success for her coming up as well as UMass Boston now this year gets ready for the NCAA tournament. Now, the team stats between 1 seed UMass Boston and the 2 seed Plymouth State. In UMass Boston's column, the kills advantage, the huge hitting percentage advantage to go along with that, assists. Back row was fairly even with the exception of specifically some of the issues for Plymouth State when receiving serve early in the match. Really, the 7 blocks is almost misleading because UMass Boston, several different points, was able to stuff Plymouth State multiple times in that point. You only get credit for a block if the point is over, but the block was maybe even more effective than that number would suggest, and the 11 aces, that's not misleading. That was really important for UMass Boston the entire time. So there you go, the final stats in this matchup and the individual leaders as well. So UMass Boston once again improves to 28-4. They win their 7th conference championship in the Little East, 11-1 at home. Plymouth State's season is over, with UMass Boston heading to the NCAA tournament with an automatic bid. Plymouth State falls to 20-11 and 8-3 on the road, and they miss out on their potential second Little East Conference championship. For our entire production crew here at UMass Boston, I'm AJ Cannell. 3-0 victory for UMass Boston over Plymouth State as we sign off from Boston.